My name is Jess Ann Lee. I'm a trainer, fitness model, and lifestyle nutrition coach. I'm the CEO of Flat Abs Fitness. My mission is to help thousands of others attain their ideal body through effective exercise, a simple, maintainable, healthy lifestyle, and teach them how to fall in love with delicious, healthy food. My name is Jess Lee, and I grew up in tiny little farming towns in Arizona. Growing up, I was always super athletic. I remember when I was really little, really young, I remember all my brothers, I have 6 brothers, lining me up and with all my other brothers and seeing who could do the most sit-ups. So I always had this thing in my head, I wanted to be the strongest, and I wanted to be able to do the most sit-ups, and I wanted to be able to beat up my twin brother. And then I got older and I got to 13 and I hit puberty and I just started gaining weight. And every year after that, it was 5 to 10 pounds. I just would put on weight and I was so confused. I was like, what's going on? What's happening? It wasn't like I had an eating disorder or anything, but I definitely didn't have a positive relationship with food because every time I did eat, I always felt bloated and sick and constantly felt this way. So I was like, oh, I feel better when I don't eat and I look skinnier when I don't eat during the day, I wouldn't feel bloated, so I would look obviously thinner. And so this kind of went on for years. This is really sad, but my junior year, my boyfriend told me I should lose 10 pounds. And that got me pretty upset. I knew I needed to lose weight because I knew it wasn't healthy. But when he told me that, I was pretty ticked off, and I was like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to be I'm going to look like a fitness model. One day I'm going to be a fitness model. And I just had this idea in my head. And I remember going on bodybuilding.com and seeing those fitness models and being like, one day I'm going to look like that. I just know it. Okay, but how do I look like that? All of a sudden it became this impossible thing. At that point, I had this vision in my mind that one day I was going to have a 6-pack. I was going to have little delt muscles, and I was going to have awesome quads and hamstrings, and I had this vision and didn't know how I was going to do it. And for years after that, I got stuck. There was just this weight I couldn't get past, and I could never get past it. And so finally I was like, well, this is my permanent weight. This is how I'll always look. I'll never have abs. And I just kind of accepted it. And there's part good in accepting your body, but there's another part of you that's no, you can expect more of yourself. You can achieve more than you think you can. Push yourself and trust yourself. And if something's not working, find what will. Don't get stuck in the same habit and think, well, this is it. That's all there is to it, You can't expect different results if you're doing the same thing over and over again. And so it started getting really bad where the first year after my marriage, I was really, really depressed. I was really drained. I was home all the time and I was gaining weight. I was gaining that weight back. And I started to hit me that I wanted to really change. And I had started modeling at that time. And I started getting these pictures back from modeling and I was like, oh no, that's what I look like? I didn't realize. I kind of stopped looking at my body. I didn't know that I had gained that much weight and I was that swollen and bloated and had that much water retention. And I realized I just decided that that's not what I wanted to look like anymore. And I pushed myself to figure something out. I started realizing getting more protein helped me. Oh, doing this helped me. I started putting things together and we started learning and I was like, holy crap, there's so much out there. What's true and what's not? I was overwhelmed at first. So it was a year of researching and learning and implementing it into my life and failing and then succeeding. And then I started connecting the dots. I started realizing what worked and then what didn't. And for the first time, I started realizing that I could truly transform my body. If I wanted to, I could completely change the body I had because I had already done so far. So I could do other things, right? I could get abs, right? This was a breakthrough for me. And we started training with a mentor and going to like motivational events. Like I didn't realize that if I wanted to do something, like I could change the results of my life by what I put into my mind. So I made a vision board and stuff, and I wanted abs and I wanted to look a certain way, and I actually drew my body that I wanted, this ideal body, and 3 months later, I almost had it. 3 months later, I had already, because after all this time, I'd already like developed these habits that we had decided were most important. And I started doing CrossFit training and high intensity interval training and Olympic lifting, weightlifting, and all of these different methods of training that I'd never done before, combined with extremely effective eating habits. And all of a sudden I saw myself in the mirror and I had abs, like not just the little 2-pack and the obliques, but I had like 6-pack, and I couldn't believe it. I blew my mind. Like I was like, is it just the lighting in the bathroom? Like maybe it's just this lighting. So I went in the other room and I looked at it, and I went and showed Colton, and I showed him, and I was like, do you see abs? Like, do you see a 6-pack? Is that really there? And it was like this amazing feeling. I still remember the day, like so clear. And that is when I decided I wanted to start a company, because I was like, I don't know, I don't care how long it takes me, but I'm going to teach people what works. I'm going to show people this isn't that hard. Like, it was just a few tweaks, it was a few changes, and ultimately it was a change with my relationship with food. Ultimately, I had to change how I viewed food, because for so long I saw food as an inconvenience or strictly fuel, and it wasn't enjoyable. Like healthy food that used to fuel your body wasn't delicious. There was a separation in my mind between yummy food and healthy food. I didn't grasp that they could be like one and the same. And I didn't know how that happened. I didn't know how people did that. And there was just so many things out there that confused me about food, and so many lies that the food industry put out there that I was deceived by. And so for me, the biggest breakthrough was realizing that I could freaking love the food I ate and still have abs. And that was a pretty good day. I'm so excited to say that I've been able to help like thousands of people, and hundreds of people message me and tell me that I've changed their lives, or that I've helped them break through whatever they were going through, or helped them see food differently, or motivated them, or inspired them. And like, one of the biggest things that I want people to realize is you can transform your body with 15 minutes a day, and that's it, with effective HIIT training. Because HIIT training, it is designed to burn fat, it's designed to build muscle all at one time. And so it's completely possible to transform your body, and it just takes time. 15 days might not be enough to see huge results. It might be enough to see results for you. It depends on your body. But you just keep taking your time, and you do it again and again and again at your own pace, what you need to do. But that technique, HIIT training, is extremely effective. And I can promise, like I can guarantee from my experience and from people I've trained, that if you did a HIIT workout 4 or 5 times a week for 3 months, your body would look completely different, especially if you implemented healthy eating habits, especially.